they're meant to fly. Planes, they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. Planes just be flying, I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. Planes, they're meant to fly. Planes, they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. They'll leave behind more than I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. Planes, they're meant to fly. Planes, they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. Planes just be flying, I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. They'll leave behind more than a piece or two. They'll leave behind more than a piece or two.
Welcome, everybody, to the stream. I'm your host, Ashton Forbes. Good to have you guys here tonight. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you for hanging out. Whoop, whoop. Good to see you, Noah. Good to see everybody in the chat today. Not going to do our normal shout-outs today to everybody just because I want to try to get through a lot of stuff today, and I want to get through it as fast as possible because I'm tired. It's been a long week, long weekend. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate you guys' interest in the investigation, interest in the science, and everything that comes along with it. One thing I want to get your guys' feedback on before we get too far here is this graphic. I'm considering buying neon light because I got to get rid of what I've got going on back here. It's too much glare. It's too annoying. Although I love my poster back here. It's pretty awesome. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm gonna change my streaming setup around. I'm gonna change my setup so there's more depth behind me. I'm gonna do it where there's a corner next to me. I'm gonna use that corner. I'm probably going to use this sign here as well that I'm planning on buying. I just have to find the right size. So I'm going to show it here in a second. 1 in the chat if you like it. 2 in the chat if you want to change something around. If you don't like it, you think it should be a different color or different font, or you have other suggestions, let me know. So here we go. Here it is. Dun, dun, dun. 4 orbs. So I'm planning on getting one that looks like this. 4 orbs. I looked through all the fonts, and I think this is the one I like the most because it's kind of got like this orb shape to it. You know, it's kind of orbish font as well. And then it also, I like the dark blue. I think the dark blue will look really good when you're streaming. And yeah, I need more depth. It's not enough going on here. So we're going to try it. Yeah, there is a red. In fact, you know what? We can look at the other versions real quick. You guys can let me know. Let me switch and show you the website. Here we go. Let me just make sure there's nothing personal here. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so this is the website. If I zoom in here, it doesn't even let you zoom in. So, okay, that didn't really work very well, huh? Okay. The red one here, I'll show you the red. Here's light red. Light red is okay also. I consider red and blue are like the only colors I pretty much would consider. Like the red, I'm not doing purple or green or anything like that. Just I want something a little bit more straightforward. And I don't like the light blue as much. It's a little too, I don't know. I want something a little bit darker than that. So I could also do one that's like changes colors, but like static multicolor, where you can change it around. So I could do that too. That's possible. It adds in like another $100 to the price, though. It's pretty expensive. What do you guys think? Nah, no dash. It's just gonna be 4 orbs. No dash. You guys like red? Let me look at red again. And this is the neon glow sign. Red. Yeah, red's okay. Light red. I can't even tell the difference between red and light red. You guys like warmer colors? Okay. Um, do it like this. I want to just. This is not going to be binding, but 1 in the chat if you like blue. 2 in the chat if you like red. And I'm gonna look at some other fonts here. Just if you guys, if there's any fonts you love, just call out the name of the font. Here's the Batman font, which is a little too much. There was another one. This is the other one I was considering, but I don't like this one as much because it's all capitals. So 1 in the chat for blue, 2 in the chat for red, whichever you like better. I just want to know what people's opinions are. The rest of these, like I don't like any of these cursive ones. This one's a little too much as well. This one's too plain. Yeah, this one's also okay, but I don't like how skinny it is. So I've looked at like all these many times. This one's kind of cool, but a little bit weird. This one's also interesting, but not quite. I think the one I like the most is the neon glow. I think this is the one I like. 2, 2, 2. Pretty even. Pretty divided. A little bit more. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely gonna be red or blue. You guys are pretty tied on the red and blue. Keep voting. 1 for blue, 2 for red. Just curious. Yeah. So that's the red again. And if I did red, I'd probably do the light red, the one I've got up there right now. In fact, here, this is what I'll do. I'll put them side by side so we can see. I'm pretty sure on the font. The font, I don't like the other ones. So that's red. That's blue. Here's red. Put it side by side. Okay. We'll look at both side by side here, chat. Pull this over here. Let's look at it side by side and see. There it is, side by side. Let's zoom this up. There we go. Okay. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I like purple's a good color, but I'm not doing the purple for the background for this. It's a little too much. Yeah, Crypto says green. 3 months green. Yeah, so I'm showing blue and red at the same time there. Both are good. Both are good. Okay. Any other last thoughts, anybody? I'd say it's pretty even. There's slightly more red votes, but pretty close. You want to see all caps blue? Let me see. There's a few that are all caps, but I don't like the all caps ones. I'm trying to find one for you real quick. That one's okay as well. No, this is definitely the font. The rest of these fonts are janky. This one is actually, I'm going to show all caps one here that's in red. That actually is the closest to my name. This one like actually just looks like my name. It's weird. Here you go. Like that one, that's like the all caps version pretty much right there. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are pretty divided on the red versus blue. I don't know. I'm probably going to go for blue, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's make or break either way. They're both pretty good looking. So here's the blue. Yeah, I kind of like the blue, but I don't like this. This font's a little too much. This is the one I like the most. Although there's a few that I don't know. I may just God, it's so hard to decide, especially when you're putting such a big investment. It's like $200 for these things, so I want to make sure it's worth it. Man, the multicolor really changes it. Adds $100. Wow. Okay. Pretty divided on it not looking like 40. I don't know what that means. Oh, 40? No. You think it looks like 40 or RBS? Nah. It's 4 orbs for sure. Oh, is that what you're thinking? You think it looks like 40? 40? No, 4 orbs? I don't know. It looks like 40. People think it looks like 40. So if I add the hyphen. Nah, I don't like the hyphen at all. Nah. I get what you're saying with the 40, but the caps makes it even more like 40. The whole point of it is that it's like an artwork thing, right? Where like people look at it and they don't quite get it right away. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly. It's like it's just a design. Okay. That's enough of that. So you guys, let me take another look at the lowercase o. That actually is Forbes. I just think it looks kind of weird. You guys like the lowercase more? Interesting. I wonder what it looks like on some of these other ones with the lowercase. Well, it does look like when you look at it, it just looks like my last name, which is funny. Definitely not the all uppercase ones though; those just look bizarre. You like that better? If I do the lowercase o, I probably wouldn't go with that one. I'd probably go with, which is the one, like something like this, or this. Honestly, this one's actually not bad. Cabron. If I went lowercase, I'd probably go Cabron, or maybe this one. Anyway, give your opinions in the Discord if you want, in general chat in the Discord. Here's the link is right here. You can see it at the top. If you want to pick which one you like the most, I'll put the link in the chat. You guys can go and you can set up what you like. Post your pictures in the Discord tonight. I'll take a look at them and review which one I like the most. Yeah, this one's pretty cool too, actually. These two are also both pretty good. I can't decide. This one? This one might be the best now, huh? Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on. I don't want to waste all night on this, but it is an important get. And I like that you guys are invested in it, so hold on. Also, side story while I do this real quick is I got 2 more new shirts, and very first thing I did was spill stuff on my new shirt. Very first thing. So annoying. And so now I've been like trying to get the stain out of my brand new shirt that I just bought. Okay, let me show you guys what we got here. Yeah, if somebody wants to put some side by side as well and put it in the chat, some different options, let me know. Yeah, you might be right. Let me just see what you guys got. Not going to do Roman numeral 4. I don't like Roman numeral 4. Not going to spell it out either. It's definitely going to be number 4. I think I kind of like the 4 orbs here. You guys might be right. Might be lowercase o. Might be lowercase o. Yeah. Okay, people like the lowercase. Okay, so it's probably going to be lowercase. Okay, guys, I think that's enough time wasted on that. Welcome, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you guys. Plasma, is plasma even an option? If you guys have other better options, let me know. Put them in the Discord chat. Red does stand out. Red is honestly a good color, but I don't know. I may have to think about it a little bit more, but I'm leaning blue just because I like blue. I'm going to put a Discord invite out right now, though, so you can come and give your feedback in the Discord. I will be probably buying this tomorrow morning, so that's how long you have to give your input. Here is if you have to be in the YouTube channel, by the way, to see the Discord invite. So jump over to the YouTube if you want to see the Discord invite. I just threw it in the chat. If one of my mods can pin it, that'd be great. Yeah, red means danger, blue means trust. Red also is for winners, so it's hard to say. I like the blue a little bit more for streaming. I want it to be I don't want it to stand out as much. I don't want it to be like a thing that when you're watching me, you're like always looking in the background. I just want it to be like this glow that's going on in the background. So cool. Yeah, probably going to be this one we got in the top right here. Okay, cool, guys. Thanks for your input. Let's get to the fun stuff. That was a good introduction while we got people going on here. I like how opinionated everybody is. This is like our most opinionated thing. You guys are more like triggered at which kind of sign I buy than whether or not Jetpack Men exists. If you're new to this investigation, then you know that people, my followers, are absolutely 100% convinced that there's people flying around on jetpacks, which I love. I respect. I think it's hilarious. I don't think there's people flying around jetpacks, but I love that my followers love their jetpack man. So just that's, by the way, that's the most controversial thing that you can bring up. So don't bring that up to my people in my replies because people will get upset. That's just been a running, ongoing joke, is whether or not Jetpack Man exists. It's too funny, guys. Okay, this is important though. This is important. What sign I get in the background is very important because I'm probably not gonna have much going on, guys. As you can see, I'm a very like practical guy. I don't have a lot going on. My walls are white. There's not much special going on here. Uh-oh. Bobby Lee says no jetpack, man. Oh, guys, Bobby, you just stepped in it, Bobby. Let him know, guys. Send them links to the jetpack, man. Okay, guys, I put the Discord invite out there. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to have dream time chat. No, here we go. Good question. Does the show Lost have anything to do with this? Guys, Lost is a documentary and the events happen in real time. No, there's Manifest, Lost, all the other shows. They don't really have anything to do with this. We are going to talk in a little bit here about the difference between wormhole and warp drive. I've been talking to some science people, some smarts in the background, and it might be a little bit more complicated than I thought. I've been kind of simplifying it, thinking that warp drive's the same as wormholes. It's not going to be that easy, I don't think. I think it's going to get kind of complicated. Okay, hold on. That just reminded me of something else. So we got a few things to get through. The first one's it's gonna be dream time, guys. Ooh, we're gonna tell you about another dream I had last night. So, and I don't really remember all of it, but what I do remember was that it was a nightmare that was like a haunting dream. And I was with some people. I only remember one of them. One of them was John Krasinski, which is Jim from The Office. I don't know why, chat. I don't know why. And we were in some kind of weird, like haunted either hotel or apartment or something that had a bunch of rooms. And I remember one person just disappeared. Like they went in one of the rooms and they were just gone. And we were freaking out. It was kind of like the show or the movie, like It, the book It, if you guys know that, where there was like some demon or something haunting us, and it just made one person literally disappear. And we were trying to find them, and we went back in the house. And we were trying to save that person, and then somebody else disappeared. And I remember just freaking out, being like, "Oh shit, I'm next." And then we were gonna bounce out, and then we ended up finding the first person that disappeared. And I think John Krasinski didn't end up disappearing. I think he was the one that didn't, because then I remember we escaped and we abandoned the one person who was gone, and we just abandoned them in the whatever haunted house / hotel or whatever it was. And the creepiest part was there was this music, a music box was playing in the background, and I kept hearing it. And this really scary part was I woke up. When you have a nightmare and you kind of wake up, I woke up and I heard the music playing. And I was like, am I imagining this right now? Because I was awake, I wasn't asleep. I was half awake, and I woke up. Yes, this is a dream, Jake, by the way. At least I hope it's a dream. But the music kept playing. And I was like, okay, am I going crazy right now? Or am I hearing this music? I started wondering if the freaking they weren't shooting me with some psychotronic weapon that was making me hear music in my head. That's how creepy it got. And then I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I heard the birds chirping. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I get up and I realized that what I thought was music was the birds singing to one another at 5 a.m. And I was like, oh shit, because I had my window open. So then I went and closed the window. I was like, okay, I'm not dealing with that anymore. I was like, I'm not, I was having nightmares because I was hearing the freaking birds chirping, and I thought it was a music box because their singing sounded like weird chirping. It was a lot, chat. After that, I was like, okay, we're gonna go back to sleep. Let's not think about that anymore. In my dream was Sinbad a genie. Guys, Sinbad is always a genie. Always, 100%. I think he's dead, right? Or is he still alive? I have no idea. Anyway, so, oh yeah, high frequency EMF disclosure in Congress the other day. So didn't I post a clip? Guys, I think I posted a clip. Guys, I'm scooping, like, I'm literally scooping the news. We are scooping the news right now. Like, I'm on record on streams saying that Elon Musk probably knows about advanced technology. And then, like, 2 days later, Ross Coulhart's on News Nation saying that he's heard that Elon Musk has been read in. I swear, like, you guys were here, right? You guys were here when I said that Elon Musk got read in to the DoD stuff. Now, I was mostly speculating, but I have my own sources. We're scooping Ross Coulhart. And then and then you saw my post as well about how, like, political figures know. I literally wrote that people like what's his name, like Chuck Schumer knows, right? The Gang of Eight or whatever. These guys know about this stuff, and now that's like making the news as well. We've been talking about the scalar weapons and Havana syndrome being linked, and like just yesterday, 2 days ago, they're doing hearings on that. Where the dude, like, I have the clip. I'm going to post it tomorrow morning. The clip of the guy literally saying that, like, they're using these weapons as some kind of electromagnetic weapon, and that our government is so messed up because we've been doing this as well, that we're so evil that our adversaries are just openly using them now too. Because, like, what can we say? Like, if we go after them and say that they have these weapons, then we have to admit that we have them as well. So that's why I was like, okay, when this started happening, I was like, guys, I'm actually thinking we are ahead of the reporting right now. And so, yeah, and people are just learning about this stuff. Like, the Gang of Eight includes people like Chuck Schumer and like Marco Rubio. Guys, I'm telling you, these guys know, man. And then I was like, okay, well, since I seem to be ahead of the game here, I'm going to make another post. So let me pull that up real quick. Because I'm thinking, like, if we're just going to start telling the future here, like, I want to make sure I've got it on record. So that when people start reporting on what I've already said, that, like, you know, they kind of have to give me credit at least, I guess. So I did the special report here, and we'll start with that. We'll look at a couple of Twitter things. We're going to talk about a couple of Twitter things, and we're going to get into some science here, guys. And thanks everybody once again for being here. So I'm just going to read this report. If you didn't watch my oh, hold on, somebody donated something. How do I get up to that? How do I link it? My thing's all messed up, chat. Like, I can't find the donation. Why is my stream all messed up? What is this? Okay, whoever just donated. Oh, there it is. I got you, Dobby. Dobby with a throbby. A, you have a great name. B, birds aren't real. The government drones spying on you. I'm not sure about that, but, you know, whatever. I am gonna post in a couple days the clip of the birds, like, falling out of the sky. Craziest clip ever. Does make you wonder if there's not some electromagnetic thing going on that's out there. Wait, Ross talked to Bob Greenier months ago and didn't talk about it since? That's weird. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Ross Coulthart, guys. I can't figure out if, like, all journalism is just dead, or if, you know, Ross Coulthart is just like too CNN brain. I really can't tell, man. I really can't tell. The amount of stuff that I've been learning over the last few weeks is actually just getting to the part where, like, I'm actually wondering if I'm just like a literal journalist now. Which, if so, give me that, guys. Give me that damn Pulitzer so I can rip it up on stream. Okay, space warfare special report. World governments are developing weapons utilizing quantum and scalar physics that is barely understood by mainstream academia. It is no coincidence that President Trump formed Space Force in 2019. We are in the middle of an arms race utilizing advanced, relatively unknown weapons with unfathomable destructive capability. A few months ago, in February of 2014, Representative Mike Turner warned of a serious national security threat. The media reported that Russia was planning on putting nuclear weapons in space. The true nature of the threat may be next-generation scalar-based electromagnetic weapons. I changed this. I had this saying is to maybe because I felt like people were going to scrutinize every word I say here. But I'd say I'm like 95% sure that's what this is going on. But I just didn't want to pretend like I was. And I also want to make sure that there's a little disclaimer that this should be taken as a speculative post, just in case there's three-letter agencies watching thinking that I have access to secret information. We might be so on the nose that like they might actually be wondering if I'm getting like real information. That's why I wanted to make sure this is speculative, although I do feel very confident in this assessment. These weapons have the ability to neutralize satellites over a wide area with electromagnetic pulses, magnitudes more powerful than thermonuclear detonations. They have the ability to cripple our space-based intelligence apparatus and commercial communications. So this is the idea that they didn't put any nukes up in outer space. You got to be silly to think that we're sending nukes in outer space. Why do we give a shit about that? And first of all, I think it's illegal to have nukes in outer space. I think there's like some kind of space treaty or some crap about that. But the thing about nukes is that they give off a EMP, electromagnetic pulse. But you don't need nukes to produce an electromagnetic pulse. Based on what we've learned from scalar physics, we can just produce that like at a distance. So you can imagine space-based weapons that are utilizing extremely powerful electromagnetic pulses, ones that, especially in outer space, have a huge range that can knock out dozens or maybe even 100 satellites at once. Like, that's a real weapon. That's a very serious threat. I mean, look at how much damage one boat crashing into a bridge can do. You know, like what boat crashes into a bridge, takes down the whole bridge like it's some Lincoln logs. So, you know, imagine, and that's the other thing too, is there's people out there. I don't know how many times people are going to be crying wolf about the coronal mass ejections. Guys, we are not going to get wiped out by some coronal mass ejection from the sun. If that was going to happen, it would have already happened. The planet's been here for 4 billion years. So, like, I don't know. I just think it's so absurd that people are going to all this fear porn about how the sun's going to shoot some beam at us and wipe us out. Nah, man, we're going to wipe ourselves out way before that. Like, way before that. The sun should be the least of our worries. Like, a lot of people that are doing that are just baiting for clicks because it sounds really scary. But there's like no actual like chance that it's going to happen in the real world. But this is what would take out the satellites. This is what would, you know, make us go dark if somebody shoots off some super EMP. So how are they going to do that? Well, I was Googling around on it. And one of the ways that it could be done, theoretically, people have been asking about this weirdly. It's not really known to the public, but one possibility is using a type of proton decay, like a proton decay explosion. And you can imagine something similar like a nuclear chain reaction, but with like a proton, like splitting apart into its corresponding quarks. And for some reason, this question is getting asked like a lot on social media. If you Google this right now about proton decay, you're going to find like a bunch of people talking about, one guy talking about like he's writing some fictional book about some kind of weapon or something like that, and whether or not he wants to know if like it's theoretically possible. So I don't know. For some reason, this is what I'm going with. So if I'm right, then my intuition is really good. But long story short, we've got some crazy advanced weaponry that is being developed by the Soviets, by ourselves, probably by China as well. And the next battlefield is outer space. That's the battlefield, because space-based directed energy weapons, surveillance apparatus. In fact, there's a new, they're trying to set up like a new system that's going to replace SIBRs that's going to be even better to basically provide full real-time coverage of the entire planet, even better than we already have it. I imagine that right now we have like video surveillance of almost everything on Earth. And in the future, my guess is we can like see through buildings and shit like that. Like, it's going to get totally nuts where like we're just bouncing like radio waves and electromagnetic waves off of everything, building some kind of like Batman Dark Knight map of like everywhere everyone is all the time. It's going to get real scary, chat. There already is no privacy. So, okay. So that's that one. Now the debunker stuff. I mean, guys, I'm just going to play this because I don't know what's wrong with these people. But like, we're at the point now where they're just like completely making up fake quotes about me. And I want to say before we go and post this too, that like, I have nothing personal against these people, but it's getting to the point now where like yesterday I had to get somebody banned because they're making like violent comments about wanting me to end my own life. And when it gets to that part, that's where you've like radicalized people, and you could argue that these people are like literally domestic terrorists. They're literally terrorizing me. Some of them are like one of them admitted to literally using the promote, paying hundreds of dollars to promote content attacking me and trying to debunk the case. Like, This is reached a point where it's pretty goddamn weird, chat. Like it's too far, and we need to just dial it back a little bit here, because I don't want to get hurt by some psychopath on the internet who's been radicalized into thinking I'm some evil person, and that's what these redditors are doing now. Like it's not funny anymore. Like if you want to debunk the case or whatever, focus on the case. But don't come at me like this, because you're actually putting me in danger when you do this. So just to be clear, and I'm not joking or anything anymore about this, like if I see more stuff like that coming after me personally, lying about me, I'm going to get in touch with Twitter Trust and Safety, and I'm going to get you permanently removed from the platform. So I think my account's big enough now that they'll take me seriously. And this isn't cute. It's not funny. Some of these people have real mental problems, and it's not like haha, like actually real mental problems. And it does concern me that they would like go so far to that they might actually harm me at this point. So please make sure, if you're on the debunker side, that you are focusing on the case and on the case itself. If you want to even debunk the videos, focus on the videos. Do not be focusing on me. And this is what I'm talking about right here. You ready?
News story is that we killed the United States killed everyone on that plane, and he recently said that that everyone on that plane deserved to die because they were protecting secrets or whatever, this warp drive technology. And honestly, I was shocked to hear that, and the people in his chat agreeing with him that all these people deserve to die because of a made up scenario. It's just wild to me.
So, well, guys, I didn't have my clip ready to go here. Hold on. I should have my clip ready to go. Oh crap! It won't let me play the clip. Okay, I was gonna play my Chick-fil-A clip, but no, it doesn't. It didn't. She didn't want to pop up. So yeah, what is that? Why are they claiming that I said all these people deserve to die? First of all, I don't even know if these people are dead. I don't even know if these people are dead. So that's just not, it's just so disingenuous that it's to the point where like this is like radicalization. Like this is literally how terrorists radicalize themselves. Like how people like convince themselves that they're justified in harming somebody else is through stuff like that. Like that's like a literal malicious lie. And I posted the whole clip here because the truth is, like, we talked about the implications, the geopolitical implications of this. And I said I could see as an American how it could be justified that you could try to say that you're trying to prevent these people from getting to China. But in no way, shape, or form did I say it was justified in murdering 239 people. Absolutely not. I think the vast majority of Americans would say that we did the right thing. In fact, I think maybe we did do the right thing. And that is a dark thing to say, everybody. But I think it's the truth, and I always like to say the truth. So it's hard to say, but not only do we potentially have to give amnesty to these people, but we might have to admit that if preventing this plane from going to China was actually preventing them from getting access to this technology, then from a geopolitical perspective, you could argue that it was justified in doing that. It's probably the darkest thing ever on the face of the earth that I've ever had to say. But it's kind of like the same as saying like it was justified to drop nukes on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So once again, I think this is extremely disingenuous. And
the United States killed everyone on that plane, and he recently said that that everyone on that plane deserved to die because they were protecting secrets or whatever, this warp drive technology. And honestly, I was shocked to hear that, and the people in his chat agreeing with him that all these people deserve to die because of a made up scenario. It's just wild to me.
I think so anyway, there we go. I played it twice. Yeah, it's pretty scary, especially because if you think the videos are fake, then obviously none of that matters anyway, like at all, right? Like if the videos are fake, then so what? Totally wild, man. And that was me being as honest as I could be about what the implications were in terms of us having to potentially give amnesty to the people that pulled this off because they're never going to face justice ever again. But absolutely not. I mean, the whole point of doing this is to try to get the truth for the families of what happened to them. And I keep saying too that I hope that they're alive. I just think that the fire events makes it really difficult for that to be the case. But I've also been pretty clear that I think that the warp drive event, if we're going to call it that, I don't think that they would have all died from that. So it's not like I'm saying that the plane got annihilated by the United States government. At the end of the day, the government's the one's going to have to speak to that. So yeah, it's a lot of disingenuous. It's really scary. And this person, Krishley here as well, I don't know why she's like, I've had more sane ex-girlfriends than Krishley is. The way that she's been coming out of nowhere, like either I don't know if she's trying to clout chase or if she's got some weird savior complex like a lot of these people do. But like if these videos end up being real, like she's ruining her life here. Like, you know, this is just getting to the point where it's sad now, you know? It's a lot of copium happening here. And as I said, I was on this space here you're going to hear as well, is that I have very strong reason to believe these videos are real. Very strong reason to believe that they're real. There's no hoaxer as well. I mean, not just the evidence, but just other stuff that I've seen and I've talked to people. And I can't really talk about, unfortunately, as much as I want to. And that's just, you know, I guess when you get bigger and bigger and you have more and more people talking to you, that's where it gets. So, you know, if these people really want to debunk the videos, then I'll pause that for a second. The best way to do that is to find the hoaxer. So if they're not finding the hoaxer, it doesn't matter. Any amount of speculation about what somebody could have done with VFX doesn't get it done. But you know, with respect to the VFX stuff too, as well, is that we have two videos from two completely different perspectives, both military videos, both with zero discrepancies, no errors on a single frame of two different videos in perfect sync with one another. This requires a full 3D render. I don't know why this is so difficult. The reason why it's so difficult, I do know why, is because if they had to admit that, then that would be the end of the debunking. Nobody's creating a 3D, fully 3D rendered environment between 4 days and 70 days with an original script with no reference copy. And the debunkers know this, and this is their biggest copium of all. You know, even Ken Staben, who thinks that the videos are partially fake, even he is like, yeah, what do you mean? We have two videos from two different perspectives. They're both perfectly in sync. You can see the same clouds in both of them, which, guys, I'm going to play that again because, like, I think the debunkers need to really start coming to terms quickly with how wrong they are about this. Like, they're making themselves look really, really, really bad. And if these videos ever come out to be real, there's going to be people wondering, who were all these people who were trying to cover them up? Like, what were their motivations? And then people are going to think that you're a disinfo agent. I mean, I think they might be disinfo agents. So here's the cloud sync, guys. Like the clouds, there's no doubt these videos are in perfect sync with one another. Look at the clouds. You can see both clouds line up. You can triangulate the location of the drone here. I'm going to pause it so you can see. There's the first cloud right here. Here's the first cloud. You can see, so the drone is somewhere up here, like where my mouse is. And you can see that what you're looking at here is this cloud back here in the bottom right. You can see it. You can see that cloud right there. Keep in mind, the angle here means that our perspective from the top is not, we have kind of a weird perspective on this plane. So this plane is probably closer to where my mouse is right here if we were to look at it from the side angle, just due to the relative perspectives here. And then you can see the second cloud. You can see the second cloud right here. Look at the second cloud right here. We can see the second cloud. So we can basically triangulate the location of the drone right here because of these two clouds. This means that it's a 3D rendered environment. I don't know. Anyone trying to tell you differently is in severe denial. Severe denial. Not to mention the fact that we have moving clouds, even in the satellite video. We have 3D dynamic parallax in the drone video. And we have accurate three-dimensional illumination from the zap, which is consistent with a wormhole event and the photons bouncing off of the mouth of the wormhole. So, debunkers, please, man. Just, again, leave me be. And if you want to cope, just cope however you got to cope. Who just donated? I don't have my buttons at the top. It says, Gen X, thanks for the donation. Aussie, I think that's Aussie dollars. I don't know. Thank you very much for the Aussie dollars. Ashton, these people are all a waste of time. All engineers slow us down in getting the truth out there, getting free energy for the world. Now back to the topic at hand. Hey, from Sydney. Yep, that's fine. But it's my stream. I'm going to comment on whatever I want. So I appreciate that. Now here, I'm going to play this as well. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there are a lot of people out there that think like, oh, weren't these debunked by some stock VFX? Or didn't I see something about some pictures of some clouds out there? And I want you to realize that all of these debunks go back to these very people. The very people here. that you are hearing from right now are the ones that found those debunks, that originated those debunks, that promoted those debunks. The Corridor crew never came up with any original thoughts themselves. They literally just went onto Reddit and Metabunk and took those ideas and pretend like they were their own and made tens of thousands of dollars off of it on their YouTube channel. That's literally the definition of grifting. The Corridor crew are grifters. They're fucking idiots on top of that. They wouldn't last 5 seconds in a debate with me about this case. And the people that look up to them really need to find new idols. So I'm going to play this as well because this is important. Like, this is somebody else. There's multiple people out there that claimed that they know who the hoaxer is. Multiple people. And they're all Redditors and all debunkers. Like, this is like the levels they're willing to lie, okay? And they're lying about it. So here we go. My comments. The comment before that I sent you was this. Stop trolling me in the comments or I will block you. I'm tired of it. That was your response afterwards.
As if you've blocked everyone.
So can you just answer the question? Do you know who made the videos or not?
Let him talk, Ashton, you fucking asshole. He's trying to answer you.
For the record, I literally just asked him a basic question. I had one of the nut jobs. I don't know which nut job that was. I don't know if that was the Area 503 guy. I think that was the Area 503. Now, this guy is like completely unhinged. He posts videos where he like thinks he's some kind of armed mercenary or something like this. And he said I doxed him because all I did was he was in my replies on my YouTube channel. And I pulled up his YouTube channel and he had pictures and videos of himself on his YouTube channel. Well, if you're in my replies on YouTube, I'm going to click on your name and see who you are. So if you don't want to be associated with the things that you are saying to me and the weird, crazy, insane people comments that you're making, don't make the comments. This guy literally, if he does have a security clearance, this Area 503 guy, he needs a psych evaluation and it probably needs to get taken away from him. He's very likely a danger to other people. Also, I looked up his Reddit thing and he posts nonstop on UFO and alien Reddits. Like trying to debunk people and put them down. Like it's sociopathic behaviors. Anyway, let's keep. So can you just answer the question? Do you know who made the videos or not?
Let him talk, Ashton, you fucking asshole. He's trying to answer you.
And just understand that I'm
just to finish. So can I, if I can just, so my argument there was that these are the people who are objectively lying. This is not even the only person who is falsely claimed to know who the videos were made. Grider, who's actually in the chat as well, also falsely claimed this exact same thing. So these are the people whose words you're taking when they claim that they know what the videos should look like. These are also people who have literally no experience whatsoever with any of these assets. What I'm saying, let me finish. I'll say one more thing and you can say whatever you want. I know these videos are real. Let me repeat that one more time. I know these videos are real. Okay?
All videos are real. All videos are real.
All videos are real, guys. All videos are real. These are the people that we're dealing with. Yeah, the Area 503 guy's a complete lunatic. Complete lunatic. Shouldn't have access to guns. Shouldn't be guarding anybody. I mean, some of these people like really need psychological assistance. Like he's trying to answer. I'm like, dude, I just asked a basic question. Like, just do you know who made the videos? He's trying to answer he literally wouldn't answer the question. Literally never answered it. I think you know what I'm saying. I'm saying I know these are real U.S. military videos of what happened to MH370. I just want you to absorb that information for 1 second.
Why are you withholding information from all of your followers then?
Think about why. Why would I do that?
Here we go with the conspiracy.
It's no conspiracy. Just
if you know, then you need to come out. And
I've literally said that I know. I've said that I know. I've said that I know publicly. So okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Thank you, Ashton.
I don't believe you know. I don't believe you could have made them yourself as far.
Then Tony says that I could have made the videos. Guys, like if there's a conspiracy at play, conspiracy theory, me making the videos is probably the biggest conspiracy theory possible.
You're smart enough to have made the videos yourself.
Is that a strong theory? I'm curious.
Okay. All right. As a show host, things start getting out of hand. You have to hit the mute button. You just have to go. I don't care if you have 200.
And for the record, I have unfollowed UFO Shane. I will not be dealing or interacting with UFO Shane ever again. And the reason for that is when I went back to clip the part where I never heard the part about them saying that, like I said, that the people deserve to die or whatever. Like UFO Shane was not putting that down. If anything, he was supporting them against me. So I will not be interacting with UFO Shane ever again. If he even comes and tries to talk to me, I will just block him. UFO Shane needs more help than most of the rest of these guys. But the biggest hypocrite is UFO Shane, because UFO Shane rages nonstop about liars and people being liars. And if they've ever lied, he thinks they have no credibilities. Jamie Mousen thinks he's the worst human being on the planet. He's lied 48 times. Greer's liar. Everybody who promotes real evidence is a liar. But these people who I was able to catch in lies within just a few seconds, he just gives them a pass. Doesn't ever say anything bad about them, doesn't rage about them, doesn't cut ties with them. That's called being a hypocrite. But the worst part is when you're calling people grifters and you've got in your thing, buy me a coffee. I'm trying to get money from everybody in the chat. Like, that's just, I can't deal with that level of hypocrisy, man. Period. And Shane, I want to help him out, but the guy just constantly is just his own worst enemy. His own worst enemy.
100 million followers, or 5 or 3,000 like I do, or whatever. We're all equal, regardless of your clout and your behavior or whatever. I don't care what you do, what you say.
I'm almost done with this,
Just be
guys.
simple.
People that want to focus on other stuff.
That if you are posting something, you come up into this community basically, and you are showing something, you should be open to criticism. You should allow it. And I think that, oh, Tony with the slick move. Tony, you savage fuck. Tony was offered co-host, and he knows exactly what he did.
So then, right after like that thing, I was there, and all of a sudden I get booted from the space. I'm like, why did I get booted? So it was because Tony had me blocked, because he blocked me after this comment. The last thing I'm going to show is I'm going to show that comment, because did I save it? I need to make sure I have it saved as well. I have a channel for losers, and every time I get some people freaking out on me or whatever, I screenshot it and I put it in my channel for losers for later on. Because at some point, if these videos get proven real, then we're just gonna make fun of all the people that were like constantly raging about them or what have you. So here it is. This guy became obsessed with me. And so whatever, I dropped out of space. I didn't really care because I was going shopping anyway, so I was only in there for like 5 minutes or something like that. And I had other stuff I had to do, and I jumped back in later on at the end for a couple minutes as well. They were still raging, whatever, no big deal. But here's the screenshots of me and Tony. So I just got sick of this guy. If you guys have seen my replies, so I ended up muting this guy a couple weeks ago. And he was trolling every single one of my posts. And like, you guys know what trolling is, with just stupid ass crap. So finally I was sick of him. April 30th, 2 weeks ago, said, stop trolling me in my comments or I'm just going to block you. I'm tired of it. And then this is his crazy response, right? So the funniest part is he blocked me after he posted this comment. He blocked me after that. And I was like, okay, so you're just going to have a total meltdown. I know who made the videos. I've been sparing you this and waiting on them to be able to come out. So I would have your plan B ready. Anyway, enough of the debunkers, guys. I just want you guys to see what we're dealing with here with respect to some of these people. At the end of the day, I just want these people to leave me alone. Let's move on. Okay. Yeah, I don't think these people are agents. I just think that they're idiots for the most part. Now, let me see what else we had to go to. So a lot of people also asked me what, like, the ontological shock. So I'm going to probably try to do like one long form content thing per day if I can. And so I wrote this very long thing about, I tried to do some update posts every once in a while. So if you want to get caught up on like how this all played out, here you go. And for the people that think I'm a liar, well, here you go as well. Good luck trying to prove I'm a liar. Like, I literally post my thoughts unfiltered nonstop. So there it is. We are going to be talking about warp drive in a minute as well. And then here's also this video with Ian Carroll. Goes through the details. Let's go ahead and watch this as well. Oh, you guys can't hear this. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. You guys can't hear this. I didn't screen share it correctly. Let me switch. It sucks. If you on StreamYard, if you don't stream share correctly, you can't hear anything. I'll play it. I'll play it again. Sorry, guys. Okay. The satellite video says received March 12th, 2014. That's 4 days after the plane disappeared. It says source protected. And it was published May 19th, 2014, which is 9 days before that raw telemetry data was available. And we can see there's a mouse on this screen consistent with a Citrix session where somebody's actually logged into a spy satellite database and doing a screen recording. This isn't a camera.
Yeah.
We see these orbs come in. One of these orbs came in at like 2,000 miles an hour. We can tell based on the pixels and this plane descending. We can see this smoke in the back of the plane, which is not contrast because that's cumulus clouds. This is very low altitude that this plane is at here. You can tell right away there's a purpose with this weird formation around the plane. Perfect triangle formation, equilateral triangle. It looks like it's mapping the plane. And then it changes this ring formation here. And this all happens within like 30 seconds. And then you're going to see the main event. Poof, it's just gone. But then, so right away, there's so many details. Like there's never been a hoax video that looked even remotely like this before. Completely one of a kind. Never seen anything like this. The Citrix session, the coordinates, the mouse, all of these things are basically that should already be enough proof for people. Nobody faked that. Nobody faked that. I don't even come up with that. Why would somebody on their fake video have a mouse coming over the top of the screen in a different frame rate as the background? Like that should be enough for most people, but a lot of people, it's just the thing they can't believe is what we just saw right there. That the clouds don't get sucked in. It's not like a black hole. It's not an explosion. The clouds don't get blown away like a nuclear weapon. We know E equals MC squared. So if this was some kind of annihilation event based on conventional physics, we should see like part of the planet getting destroyed. That's a huge amount of mass that we see there.
Yeah.
So this is where right away you look at these, you go, this is weird. And a lot of people may go, no, this has just got to be graphics. It's got to be a video game or something like that. But there's so many bizarre details going on here, including, we can't see it right now, but pretty much right where my hand is, there is coordinates right down here in the bottom left. It says NROL 22. That is National Reconnaissance Office Launch 22, shot up in 2006. That's the first launch of the SBIR system, the Space-Based Infrared System in 2006. That's a weird detail to add to your fake video.
Yep.
And then it has the coordinates. You can see the coordinates only move when the perspective changes, which means somebody noticed that this screenshot here, I snapped this from somebody's Reddit post as well, has latitude and longitude incorrectly, but whatever, you get the point. This one right here, the 8 here is the north-south, and then this one on the right is the east-west. And I'll answer the one question in the chat that people have asked a lot about the smoke. We're not looking down through a satellite that's moving, because otherwise those coordinates would be changing constantly. This is some kind of, I got blocked for somebody claiming that I stole their idea for the thing about the coordinates not moving. It's pretty weird. Computer generated feed system, like we were just talking about the SBIR system, pulling data from satellites, generating a realistic 3D imagery tracking an object. So we were able to deduce all this. And the first question I ask is, if these videos are fake, how am I able to deduce the real spy satellite capabilities of the United States military from these videos just looking at it? And you know, if there was just one video like this, it wouldn't be enough, although it's pretty damn compelling because, again, those coordinates are the real location of the plane in the Nicobar Islands. So for all the haters and the doubters here, Ken actually did the calculations to figure out that the plane could get from the last radar location, which is how far away? Like 300 plus miles away. This is the last radar locations and like 300 miles away. And it wasn't until the raw data came out, because this is, I think this one on the top is the only thing that we had before then. And the experts couldn't even tell what this graph meant beforehand, because like it didn't have pluses and minuses on it. It seemed like it was like absolute values. So it wasn't until the raw telemetry data came out that people were actually able to correctly calculate that this plane actually went around Indonesia like this. So that's, I want to be as clear as possible on that. In terms of what I mean when I say that there's no way you could know the real location. Plus, as I mentioned right here, these coordinates are not where the plane specifically is. That's just the center, probably the center of the screen of whatever the person's looking at when they're moving it around. So the plane could be like further down here somewhere. It could even be, these scans are huge, so we just don't really know how far away exactly it is from this exact location, but somewhere near this. And this is potentially a very large field of view. So those coordinates aren't like tracking the plane. Those coordinates are somewhere else, and they're just moving the screen to keep it cropped in to track the plane. We also don't see the drone, which means that they're cropping potentially U.S. assets out of this, possibly to minimize damage to the United States. There may be other assets too. Like the French father was told the United States knows what happened to this plane, and that there was 2 AWACS, these like advanced radar planes that were in the area. So guys, the French father was literally told that the Americans know exactly what happened to this plane and that there was 2 AWACS in the area. We are probably looking at video that was relayed via the cyber system to one of the AWACS, one of the spy planes, and Edward Seelin was probably on it. Guys, how can all of this line up if these videos are fake? Once again, the French father was literally told the Americans know exactly what happened to the plane, and we're looking at 2 leaked videos. What if there's like another AWAC somewhere if they just cropped it out carefully so that people don't see that? Okay. So I'm going to answer a couple of the questions in the chat. So one of them, somebody asked, like said something about the VFX people completely stopped at the thought of the satellite moving 17. It's so stupid to think that we have to look through satellites in 2024. If the satellite's moving at 17,000 miles an hour, how are you even going to use it? How do you think the satellites even work? What do you think the purpose is? Do you think they're just up there doing nothing? This is like the difference between like idiot debunkers that sit on a couch that are just fucking morons, like the Corridor crew. The Corridor crew are just some of the dumbest fucking people alive. They're definitely not VFX experts in any sense of the word. They literally did no technical analysis on these videos whatsoever. None at all. All they did was do what debunkers do and just speculate. They did no technical analysis whatsoever on the videos. That's not a VFX expert. Okay, somebody asked a good question about the heat signatures. So this is one I get a lot. I don't know where it is, chat. So the French father, I can't say his name, Guillain Watrellos. You guys can find it. I literally posted a clip of it. Like here, it's right here. There it is. This is him. Ghislain. He's got a French name, and I always butcher it because I can't say it right. You guys can find it yourself, though. Now, here's the other thing I want to point out is people asked about... Oh, sorry, I'm not even presenting my screen. This is the screenshot of the guy's name right here. You guys can see it yourself. You can find this article if you want. Now, I'm going to share the video, the thermal video, because people ask, why are there 2 trails coming out if it's smoke? Good question. Really good question. I'm going to have you see for yourself. Again, I don't like to tell people what to think. I want to show you the evidence. So we are looking at the drone video. Okay. And if I zoom this video forward here a little bit to when it's zoomed in, we can see the heat signature on the belly of the plane. Okay, here it is right here. Look at where the smoke is. You can see the smoke line. You can I not click on this? Oh, because hold on. Let me share it the other way where you can see where my mouse is. You can't see where my mouse is on this because of the way I shared it. Sorry, chat. Streamlabs, man. Streamlabs is good, but it's also kind of annoying. So I zoomed this ahead till this point. Actually, that was a great screenshot right there. Okay. Look at where the smoke is up here. The smoke is not coming from the engines conclusively. It is objectively not coming from the engine. It's not lined up with the engine. Here's the engine. Here's the engine. Imagine if I draw a line. In fact, let me go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to draw a line. We'll just make this super clear for people. Screenshot this here. Put it in Paint. Present. Okay. We've got this in Paint here. We draw a line. If I draw a line from this, notice it does not line up with where the smoke is. The smoke is up above it. So the black line, let me change the color to red. The red line is from the engine. You can see very clearly. Now let's do another line. Let's line up where the smoke is. We'll make it orange. You see that, chat? This is 100% proof the smoke is not coming from the engine. You can see that, right? Any doubts? Any doubters out there? So the question is, if that smoke is not coming from the engine, where is it coming from? Because we can see here, this is 100% conclusive proof it's not coming from the engine. It is definitely not coming from this engine. It's not lined up with the engine. You can see that again. So what's happening is it's coming out of the belly of the plane on both sides. It's coming out of the belly of the plane on both sides. It's wrapping around the fuselage. So it's coming out of here. It's wrapping around the fuselage on both sides of the plane, and it looks like it's coming from the engine when it's not. So are we good with that? This is the part that I think people struggle with. And again, it literally cannot be contrails. It's scientifically not possible for it to be contrails. And the funny part is I have a quote from Mick West on a different thing where he talks about how contrails only form at a minimum 24,000 feet is the lowest they can form. And this plane's at 1 to 5,000, or between, let's say, we think between 5 and 7,000 feet. The fuselage is splitting the smoke trails coming out of the back of it. So there you go. Got it. You can also just literally see there's no smoke coming out of the engine. You can just literally see it. You can see the smoke very clearly here. You can even see it wrapping around the plane right here, around the fuselage right here. There is no smoke coming out of this engine. We can tell. If there was smoke coming out of the engine. So the source of the smoke, okay, you guys really want to dig into this? I did not expect to do this, but we can. I have the images. There are AC exhaust ports right where we see this heat signature here. The AC exhaust ports are right next to the landing gear, and there's one on either side of the plane. So if this fires in the forward cargo bay, we've speculated this fire because there's 2 pallets of lithium-ion batteries in the forward cargo bay. That what's happening here, let me pull this to the side, is the fire is up here in the forward cargo bay somewhere, and the smoke is permeating through the air conditioning system. The air conditioning system circulates throughout the plane, and then it goes out the AC exhaust ports, the air conditioning and exhaust ports. So this was the big kicker back in like October when I had been staring at this image from my my background or whatever, my banner in my Twitter profile. So I'll pull this off for a second. Here you go. There are the AC exhaust ports, chat. One on either side. There's another screenshot as well. Seeing if I can find it. Problem is, when I'm not prepared to show something, I have so many screenshots. Oh, so here we go. And the perfect overlay as well. Here's the overlay of the plane with the thermal heat signature, so you can see where the heat's coming from. That heat is coming from the AC exhaust ports. Here's one that is overlaid with the cargo bays. So these are the red is where the cargo bays are at underneath. So at first we thought maybe it was the rear cargo bay, but after looking at the AC system, it would really be the forward cargo bay. Yeah, it's being vented out. Exactly. Who just said that? Jonathan. Gold star, Jonathan. Gold star for you, sir. And yes, we have a perfect. Oh yeah, here's the best one. Okay, and this is the last one we need to show. Where did it just go? Oh, here. Okay. Jonathan gets the gold star today, chat. So there you go. There's the vents right there. You can see the vents right near the cargo bay as well. So we've done our homework on this. We can say pretty good certainty. We've also found other... oh, this is actually the one I really wanted. Hold on. This is the one I wanted. There you go. There's the cold intake, and there's the exhaust ports. This is the one I wanted to show. So good question on that one. Hope you guys appreciate it. Apologies if this has been asked, but have any FOIA requests or congressional inquiries been filed related to this? Your analysis of compelling warrants investigation. I've FOIA'd every single agency that's out there, every single one that's relevant. They've all either been rejected, either due to technical reasons, like the National Reconnaissance Office. I FOIA'd them back in September. It's been like 8 months. The Edward C. Lynn, I got rejected in the interest of national security or foreign defense. The NSA, we found an O'Reilly Tate's one where she was rejected in the interest of foreign policy or national defense as well. So yes, basically every single FOIA into this has either been roadblocked, technically rejected, or we've been rejected on the interest of national defense. Pretty crazy. For a plane that supposedly the Americans wouldn't know anything about, that's a whole lot of FOIA rejections. Why are they rejecting all this stuff? Okay, I don't really want to spend too much more time on this because I want to go to sleep tonight. So let me see if there's any other major questions. Okay, whoever this guy is, please stop lying. I can tell you're a Redditor without having any doubt whatsoever, because there's a lot of people that just like are trying to push misinformation, like that we're not looking at a Malaysian Airlines jet or that we're not looking at 777. Yes, we are. That's why I've had it on my profile banner bar for 9 months. It's a literal perfect overlay of not just any set 777. It's a literal perfect overlay of MH370. The least controversial aspect about these videos is that that's MH370. There's no doubt whatsoever. It's indisputable. So the problem is when you lie like that and you claim that it's not the right plane, you lose all credibility. You have to at least be able to accept basic facts. If you can't, then just go somewhere else, do something else. Just let the adults talk. Okay. You guys ready to go? Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of disinformation out there. It's pretty absurd. Okay, you're getting banned. You won't be coming back. I'm only giving you guys one warning, by the way, as well. So I don't really deal with bullshit anymore. Like if you're pushing disinformation, if you're being disingenuous, if I even think you're being disingenuous, you're getting blocked. You're never coming back. That's it. You're out of the case. You can watch from the sidelines. Okay. Or you can do your own case if you want. I 100%, by the way, I haven't said this in a long time, but for the new people out there, I've made all my evidence publicly available so that anyone can run their own investigation if they want. They can try to solve the case out there if they want. And nobody has tried so far, even though I've made everything publicly available to everybody else. The only thing I ask is that you don't steal my story that I've presented, because that's the story that I've put forth. You can put up your own story for what you think happened in the plane. I think the more people that put up stories for what happened in the plane, the more likely it is we'll get the answer. I've put nothing behind a paywall, so you have access to everything. Yeah, is the Air India plane in the chat with us right now? Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's one strike and you're out. We're not going to be slowed down with all this bullshit. Because there are literally people that push disinformation because they're just trying to slow us down. You guys are right. And we probably shouldn't have spent an hour and 8 minutes on this. You guys are right on that as well. So I do apologize on that. Let's get to some of our other stuff. But I do want to answer questions for people that are out there. The funniest, though, was the guy that was like adamant we were looking at a 737. If you look at a 737 compared to a 777, it's like half the size. It's like half the size. And the engines are completely different, too. It's like, oh, man. Some people do. I swear to God. I literally think some people are just pushing bullshit just to disrail as much as possible. Okay. But yes, and this is a good... Actually, somebody just asked about the stock effect. This is a good segue. I'm not going to address every debunk every day. I made a post about the stock effect, and I made a post about the cloud effect. You guys can go find those. They're like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. They're not that long ago. I'm not going to post about it every single time, although I probably will have to address it again. I do want to give the debunkers a chance to, realize the videos are real and at a bare minimum to try to solve the case. So I don't want to polarize any more than I already have against them. But people do bring up this idea of, oh, well, somebody found some matching VFX. Okay, well, let me put that to bed for you as well right now. So we took a random cloud and we were able to match the random cloud to the stock VFX. It is not a method of falsification to say that something looks like something else. It's called prosaic. Just because two things look similar does not mean that they are the same thing. And just because you can modify one thing and make it similar to another does not mean that they're the same thing. We were able to find a random ass cloud and match it to the Pyromania VFX. And I could argue that all we did here is that this cloud is fake and they actually used Pyromania VFX and they just changed the shadows on the edges and slightly adjusted the middle or something like that. Like, that's not a method of falsification. And this is why, because it promotes many false positives when you do that, just like you're seeing here on your screen right now. If we use the method the debunkers used, everything in the world would be fake, including a whole lot of real stuff as well. So that's not a valid method of falsification or of determining whether or not something is fake. And this is the reason why it fails. And this is why it's objectively not in the MH370 videos, is saying that you modified something to look like something else is stupid, frankly. That's actually just literally never been done for this asset before. The only person out of all the places where this Pyromania asset, this VFX was used, the only eastbound and down modified it at all. And the only thing they did to modify was they changed the angle like this slightly. That was it. The debunkers are saying that they changed all the shadows and the shading and they manually retouched up every aspect of it in the middle of it entirely. Like, all disingenuous, all lies. And again, you've heard these liars as well today. So hopefully that puts the nonsense to bed related to some of that. No. So I want to keep in mind as well that we're looking at nighttime footage as well in both those videos. There's no shadows in the satellite video, and in the drone video you can almost tell it's nighttime just due to how much noise there is in the background. If it was daytime, we wouldn't have that much noise going on. Also, the flash probably wouldn't be as prominent if it was daytime compared to nighttime in the satellite video. So I'd say we're like 99. The location of the plane indicates nighttime as well. And in addition to Catherine T's sighting. So it's definitely nighttime. And it can't be through the tunnel somewhere else because of the coordinates. Although that's a reasonable question to bring up, Jake. Reasonable question. Yeah, and that was a good example too, where the cloud like is pretty close, but not a perfect match. But that's the same argument that debunkers bring up. It doesn't have to be a perfect match. It's too close to be not it or whatever. Okay. I will think about having Bob Greenyer back on in the future. I talked to him a lot. I talked to him on the phone the other day as well. He's a really smart guy. I do think that the orbs go through the wormhole. Yes. I mean, how I can't tell for sure, but yes, I do think that they do. Click on me, please. Okay, Dave. Got you, brother. Okay, are we good with that? Let's go to the next thing. There's not too much to go through tonight, but there's a few more things we're going to do. Okay, next thing I want to show. I've got some Bob Greenyer clips here. Where are they? Now, I don't know if I'm going to hit the right clip here, so we're going to watch for a couple minutes and see. But it's about coherent matter. And coherent matter is definitely one of the special things that we need relating to this type of technology in these videos. So this is a Bob Greenyer. I'm glad you guys brought him up. A video from 2 years ago, well before I knew Bob Greenyer, almost 3 years ago. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. He only has 10,000. He doesn't even have 10,000 followers, subscribers, guys. This dude is literally out here engineering cold fusion, and my man doesn't have any followers. So, guys, get this guy on. Okay. Yeah. Also, guys, if you complain or cry about being muted or blocked, that's also going to get you blocked. Just heads up. So don't do that either. That's definitely a good way to get blocked. Just whatever. If you don't like me, don't watch. I don't care, man. Okay, so he talks about device and method for generating coherent matter waves. Now, this is not the coherent matter wave beam patent from Lockheed Martin, but this is clearly why when Bob Greenyer saw that patent, he got really excited. Yeah, and I have it. Can you guys hear it? Oh, so he just talked about the Lockheed Martin patent right there as well. So we actually got it in a good timestamp here. And so they're talking about Bose-Einstein condensates here, and or the idea of cooling it down like lithium-6 and helium-3, which form superfluids when they get to absolute zero. This is where you start to get these coherent effects, quantum coherent effects. So whenever you guys are seeing quantum coherent, oh, there's no sound at all. Shit. Sorry. Okay. Hold on, guys. I screwed up. I'm gonna rewind it 20 seconds here and replay it for you guys. Thank you guys for letting me know. I apologize. Here we go. This is it.
Surpassing the capability of these systems that were there up until the turn of the century, which causes considerable cooling, stabilization, and switching problems. And so in a much of these discussions, they're still
I agree.
discussing cooling down to cryogenic to near absolute 0 Kelvin temperatures. And that is where the big leap in understanding came in the Lockheed Martin patent. But anyway, the generation of coherent matter waves.
So yeah, that's the thing where, oh, so this is, I get what he just said. This was really important, chat. He just described that in this paper, which is 1999, Max Planck study. Let me just confirm that that's when it was. I have the patent up here. Patent published, yeah, 1999 is that when this patent's published. They were still talking about getting to like absolute zeros for coherent matter wave beams, but the Lockheed Martin patent does not require absolute zero temperatures. This actually, now that I'm thinking about, brings up the idea that Salvatore Pais mentioned, which is achieving superconductivity, which is in a sense coherence, quantum coherence at room temperature or at loud temperatures. I can't increase the sound for some reason. This is going to be something I'm going to have to work on. Like, I think I'm stuck with this sound level. Wait, let me see if there's a way to change the sound real quick. Output sound, mic volume. Unfortunately, that looks like this is the highest I can get the sound for the playback, so I apologize. It's just very quiet because of Bob's video is quiet.
Base is based on the extraction of atoms from a Bose-Einstein condensate. The atoms which are in a magnetically trapped state are transferred into an untrapped state. The transition is induced by an external radio frequency RF field. So, Hank.
So the transition from non-coherent to coherent states, I'm going to repeat what he says for you guys, so just in case you can't hear it well, says is induced by an external radio frequency, RF field. So here's another thing, guys. Are you ready for this connection? The Freescale Semiconductor scientists, that company was linked to U.S. aerospace and defense through serving RF power needs. I might even have to find that quote, chat. Holy crap. Freescale Semiconductor RF power needs. NXP. Oh, wait. That's NXP Semiconductors. Someone may have to find the link, but we have a link somewhere about Freescale signing a contract with the government to serve RF power needs. I think I have it right here. Yeah, here's Freescale's RF business makes long-term commitment to U.S.-based aerospace and defense market. Oh boy. Okay, I have to switch over. We have to go to the other. Here it is. Let me share this real quick, guys. This seems important. Here it is. Okay, let's read this together. People wonder about the Freescale Semiconductor things. Hi, Lou Elizondo in the chat. I think you spelled your name wrong, but it's good enough. Freescale is a global leader in radio frequency RF power transistors. Sorry, what? Freescale Semiconductor was the global leader in RF frequency power transistors. Today announced a major initiative focused on demonstrating how its new and existing commercial RF powered microwave RF devices can meet the requirements of U.S. aerospace and defense market. The company plans to support a broad range of aerospace and defense applications with an entire new gallium nitride RF power transistor products. Guys, just reading this makes me wonder, like, is there people outside listening right now? As well as its proven portfolio of 400 LDMOS RF power transistors. Wait, a transistor is something that changes one power type to another, right? Wait, no, that's a transducer. Okay. The Freescale products will be supported by a dedicated team of professionals focused exclusively on aerospace and defense markets and consumers. And this was a year before the plane went missing. Wow. Guys, there's no way that this is just coincidence. These guys were literally working for the U.S. Aerospace and Defense. And Bob Greener's talking about the transition is induced by an external radio frequency field as well for coherent matter waves. These guys are definitely the reason why the plane disappeared. I'm absolutely certain. Okay, let's keep listening.
And Dave, there might be something here where we can stimulate the production of the release of these things. Now,
John, thank you very much for the donation. You guys have been on fire. Just once again, I like to say it every time. If you need your money for anything, rent, eating, or any other purpose, please keep your own money. But thank you for the donations anyway. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to that Lou Alzando book as well. Yeah, this is a Yahtzee for sure.
You could argue that one way to trigger, and what you can do maybe is to use your system. Let's call it some sound, for instance, or some electromagnetic waves, which is using a piezoelectric material or otherwise.
What did he just say? Piezoelectric material? He's literally talking about Salvatore Pais' piezoelectric high temperature induced superconductivity. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna get this is getting sus, guys. This is crazy. Are you serious? Holy crap. Yeah, please like the stream as well if you're on YouTube. I appreciate you. If you're on X, then you just get to appreciate it.
Transductive material.
Let me hear that again.
Surpassing the release of.
I need to hear that one more time.
Now, you could argue that one way to trigger, and what you can do maybe is to use your system. Let's call it some sound, for instance, or some electromagnetic waves, which is using a piezoelectric material or otherwise transductive material to convert an electromagnetic wave into a phonon scalar wave, like sound, but in.
What? He just gave us the sauce, chat. He just gave us the sauce. They're directly connected to the technology. The Freescale semiconductor scientists were. What the fuck?
Sound, for instance, or some electromagnetic waves, which is using a piezoelectric material or otherwise transductive material to convert an electromagnetic wave into a phonon scalar wave, like sound, but in the material, or to directly use scalar waves by.
Let's go, chat. Oh my god, he just told us how to manipulate gravity. Sound waves can be used to manipulate gravity as well. So when they equate something to like a sound wave, and the scalar potential is the stress in the medium. The scalar potential is how we manipulate gravity. Like the equation that I always explain to you guys with Maxwell's equations. We literally lost how to manipulate gravity because we reduced Maxwell's equations. How nuts is that? People wonder, well, why can't we manipulate gravity? Because we're idiots, and we were like, we're going to have all of our heavy side reduce the equations down to 4 so it's easier for people. And that's how we messed up. He just said this is the way that we do it. The Freescale semiconductors were directly connected to converting electromagnetic wave into a longitudinal gravity wave. That's what we're seeing.
Using phase conjugation.
Using phase conjugation?
You could then build up a coherent matter state and then build it up and build it up and build it up and build it up. And all the time it's building, it's just locked into place and it can't act. And then you hit it with RF, which could be, let's say, I don't know, for argument's sake, something between 21 and 24 centimeters of light, which is in the microwave range. And it goes, and all of them collapse and they become these non-trapped but traveling coherent matter waves that can then go about their business.
What the heck? Are you serious, chat? Wow. 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 The craziest part about this was 2 years ago before I ever met Bob Grenier. Did Bob Grenier ever even know Salvatore Paez?
So to speak.
Okay, so that was the craziest clip I think we've heard in a long time. I'm definitely snipping that. We're going to snip that. We're going to combine it with Sal Paez's piezoelectric superconductivity. We're going to combine it with the Freescale serving RF power needs. And that's our motive. Boom. Lock it up. We guys, how do people think these videos are fake, man? Do you think that we can just fucking, sorry for my swearing, it's swearing time. Do you think that we can just fucking Sherlock Holmes this bitch and these videos be fake? Like, we literally are learning how to manipulate gravity from these videos. We found dudes that nobody knew that these dudes exist. I didn't know these dudes existed. We found Maxwell, his equation is being reduced by Heaviside, explaining how we can manipulate gravity from the scalar potential. We found out that coherent matter wave beams can allow us to convert electromagnetic fields into scalar potentials, which is exactly what we need to manipulate gravity. We've got Salvatore Paez. Just let me just pull that up real quick. Salvatore Paez, piezoelectric induced high temperature superconductor. And like, I didn't understand all the pieces before this. So what is it? Just, we're just randomly getting this together? Like this is random. We randomly happen across all the requirements that we need. We just happen to have a piezoelectric induced high temperature superconductor patent here from Salvatore Paez. Literally the thing that Bob Grenier was just talking about we need. And oh, by the way, we just also happen to have that's not it. Where's the RF power needs? Where's my RF power needs? What the hell? Where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. And we just have that the Freescale Semiconductor had signed a deal with aerospace, U.S. Aerospace and Defense to literally serve RF power needs to them. And they have microchips that are the size of a dimple in a golf ball. And we have a, oh, and guys, one more. I'm going to add this in there as well. The NSA paper. Some of you guys haven't even seen this, guys. Just prepare to have your mind fucking blown. Superconducting Technology Assessment, National Security Agency. You guys seeing this shit? Superconducting Technology Assessment, National Security Agency. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys just don't think I'm making this up. This should just be the smoking gun. National Security Agency, Office of Corporate Assessments, August 2005. So they had their eyes. Look at this. Watch this, chat. Watch. Freescale. What? 9 times? Freescale's going to show up 9 times? Freescale Semiconductor. Some kind of weird chip. Commercial pre-production at Freescale. Look, here's a design for their semiconductor that they're producing. Their super advanced one. Oh, look, here's some more. They're just mentioned all throughout this report. Like all throughout this report. Where's the intro on this thing? It's all about superconductive microchips. NSA's computer needs are outstripping conventional technology. Let me see. There's something as well in here where at the end, like in the conclusions. There, okay. Oh yeah, summary of findings. Okay. The panel concluded that private sector interest in superconducting RSFQ, which is I forget what that means, would not be sufficient to spawn development. So basically, they have to invest themselves in this. NSA's role is to turn these findings to specific actions and partnerships with national security community and other federal HEC users having extreme high-end computing needs and the vision to pursue performance goals that superconducting RSFQ appear to offer. What is RSFQ again? So I think rapid single flux quantum technology. Superconducting rapid single flux quantum technology. Does that sound pretty goddamn advanced for 2005, chat? Absolutely ridiculous, chat. Yeah, the LK99 story went away real quick too, which is real sus, chat. I didn't even know what superconductivity was before that. Honestly, like, this is more like just what we've done tonight probably deserves the Pulitzer. Just this alone is more than I think that any TV and news and media has done in like years. Like, and this is just us fucking Googling shit. It's just holy crap. Also, credit to JK Philly fan for finding that clip of Bob Greenier. Holy crap, man. Holy crap, dude. This is a wild clip. We're posting that clip tomorrow, chat. Make that clip go viral. The problem is normies have no idea. Like, unless you've been involved in this case, they don't understand like how huge these findings are. Because you have to first realize that you need superconductivity, you need quantum coherence, you need these like coherent matter waves. Like, this is what allows for anti-gravity. We also need to understand the idea of what gravity even is. You know, a lot of people don't even understand what gravity is. People think gravity is like some force that's pulling stuff down. It's not. It's like the stress in the medium. It's a big difference understanding that. Totally crazy. Holy Jesus, man. Okay, what's my next one I have? I have another video. Also, I've got some good stuff here. Okay. 2 more things we're going to do tonight, and then we're going to call it quits. Bendel warp drive, and then we're going to look at actually, I kind of want to look at this first. This post here. Oh, and we have the Reddit thing as well. We may save the Reddit thing for tomorrow. What I'll say is I'll give you guys a spoiler on the Reddit thing, okay? So, and I'll show you right away, and then we'll go to some of these other 2 things that I want to discuss. Hopefully this won't get deleted from this. We found the video post on Reddit from a year ago. This was back, so you can see if I hover over. You can't see when I hover over this. That's weird. This is from January 13th, 2023. January 13th, 2023. Okay, so this is 8 months before I even saw these videos. Somebody posted the MH370 videos on the UFO subreddit. We found out that the Pyromania VFX was uploaded with fake pictures that include the MH370 videos 10 days after this post on January 23rd. That's when it was uploaded by Wave Rider. It is very, very possible that the intelligence community was monitoring Reddit and saw people posting the MH370 videos, and they prepared the Pyromania VFX debunk to get found on the internet back in January of 2023, 8 months before I ever even saw the videos again reemerge. This is extremely suspicious, and it gets weirder. The France 24 debunk, that, like, if you Google stuff, you find these debunks. One of them is France 24. They have the wrong satellite. It says NROL 33 in their debunk. That's the only factual evidence they present, and it's wrong. The France 24 debunk supposedly came out right after this as well. And the Newsweek debunk, which is just another version of it, came out 1 to 2 days after these videos reemerged on Reddit in August. Like 1 to 2 days after. Newsweek's dropping a debunk about some random UFO video that shows up on Reddit like 1 day after it drops on Reddit. Why is it Newsweek doing an article about my investigation? We've been waiting 9 months, and yet 1 day after these videos reemerge on this same subreddit, Newsweek copies and pastes the France 24 debunk using some kind of AI. It gets the only thing, which is the NROL 22. It gets it wrong again. It says it's NROL 77, which wasn't even a real launch. This just reeks of intelligence community manipulation. Reeks of it. Super sus. So we're going to write a post up about that. Also, before we go to that, I want to show you guys some of the comments. By the way, I believe this was downvoted to 0. The only reason why it's not 0 right now is because people found this link early on in August, and they pointed out how this video had been shown up before, but I think it was set to 0. And people found it and they started upvoting it retroactively. We're not looking at ham operators or ham records. That's what what's his face does. Richard Godfrey. You can't track planes with that. But that's a good analysis. We're not looking at ham radio stuff. I'm not going to do that. I've conclusively determined that the Richard Godfrey ham radio analysis stuff is complete garbage. Freescale changed their name around this. No, it's not that they changed their name. They were sold. They got sold off in 2015 to NXP Super Semiconductors. And by the way, if you look up NXP's semiconductors stock price, pretty solid. For the record, I am an investor in NXP semiconductors because I like to have my money where the rich assholes have their money. So I did go ahead and somewhere around November last year, several months into the investigation, decided I was going to invest in semiconductors after I learned that we're probably hiding superconductive microchips from the world. But that's not investment advice. That's just information. You can make your own choices in terms of what you want to invest in. So I do need to get a producer probably. If I do this full time, I do. But for now, and by the way, this week I'm going to have to focus on my job. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to post. Here's NXPI chat. Here you go. Let's do 1 year. How's that grab you? Last year it was 160. Now it's 260 in 1 year. That is over a 50% increase in 1 year. Over 50% increase in 1 year. How about 5 years? 5 years ago, it was $100. The lowest was $220. 2020, it was $80. It's now quadrupled since 2020. Seems legit to me. I don't know about you, chat. Let's go back to when they were bought. So actually, they were stagnant for a while, but now all of a sudden they've taken off since 2020. Pretty interesting. If you guys look up NVIDIA, theirs is even crazier. They've gone up like 16-fold. Yeah, if YOY is in the thing, just ban him. Just block YOY. I'm not dealing with those people anymore. I already got him blocked, so I don't see his comments. But if my admins are there, if anyone's calling me a grifter in the YouTube chats, just block them. We're not playing games with these people. Okay. What I wanted to show you was the comments here as well. So the top comments used to be different, but people started upvoting them. So if you go down like 3 down here, this is fake as shit and distasteful as hell. If this was legit footage of MH370, every fucking news outlet in the world would be talking about it. They're not, because it's fake as shit. This is your brain on CNN, chat. This is your brain on CNN. This is what a complete idiot looks like right here. Dangerous Dak on Reddit. This is why Redditors are the dumbest people on the face of the earth. Can you believe this? If this was legit footage, every news outlet in the world would be talking about it. How dumb do you have to be to think that? How dumb do you have to be to think that the government doesn't control the media? And that if we took this plane, filming it on 2 videos, of course the media is not going to talk about it. 0 mainstream outlets have reached out to me, even though I've done more investigative journalism than all mainstream media combined, and I'm literally disclosing the biggest cover-up in history. The Rolls-Royce data was never made publicly available. That's extremely suspicious. They probably have data that shows that contradicts the Inmarsat pings, would be my guess. Inmarsat data was made publicly available, and there's a huge anomaly right at the location after the Nicobar Islands as well. Right after 1840, the data just goes dead. And then there's only 10 rows of data for 5 hours. And before that, there's hundreds of rows of data. So this is why I don't know why people think the Inmarsat data is some like completely undeniable data. The Inmarsat data is definitely garbage. You should just throw it out. I mean, it looks good up until the Nicobar Islands. The data looks legit. But after that, it's extremely suspicious. And that's honestly the reason why a lot of these fake experts that are out there completely failed in their investigation, is because they discounted like 19 real people and all this evidence they didn't like just because they thought there's no way that some random rows on an Excel data spreadsheet couldn't be manipulated. Like, this is how stupid experts are. The word expert means literally nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. And then there's some more comments in here that Debris from the wreckage has been found. Like, this is like almost certainly was a Fed post, a Fed bot. Now you notice a lot of the people, it's the same narratives. Debris was found. Debris was found. They don't point out the fact that the debris contradicts the crash site. The debris was found in Africa, not Australia. That means there's no chance this plane crashed off the coast of Australia. But this is like the thing, is that this is how brainwashing works. They had some debris that got found, and then the media convinced the world using models that somehow this means that the plane crashed. Like a couple pieces get found, and they convinced the world that, like, oh, this means the plane crashed. This means we were right. This means we were right. It had to have been crashing off Australia. We found debris 3,000 miles away. It's crazy. And then this is just a completely made up quote here, where this is like from like that. You guys saw this guy, Lance Vance or Vance, whatever his name is. He's like, the debris suggests the pilot lowered the plane's landing gear and crashed deliberately. Like, that's not something you can figure out from looking at a piece of debris. That's literally not something you can figure out by looking at a piece of debris. And then a new report published by Richard Godfrey and American MH370 wreckage hunter Blaine Gibson claims the piece of debris most likely penetrated from the inside by the jet's disintegrating engines. Richard Godfrey's analysis is completely fraudulent. Nothing that Richard Godfrey says should be taken with any sense of credibility whatsoever. His analysis, the Whisper analysis, I read the Whisper report. It's total nonsense. It reads like fiction. And the guy who came up with Whisper literally said that you can't use it to track planes. That didn't stop Richard Godfrey from making up a bunch of bullshit anyway. Richard Godfrey's a fraud. Don't listen to anything he says. He's not an expert in any sense of the word. So this is what Redditors do, though. They're so stupid. This is total horseshit. If you look into MH370 at all, it becomes quite clear the disappearance of the crash was a deliberate act on the part of the pilot. There's literally no evidence that this was an act on part of the pilot. Not only was there no evidence that the pilot did this, everybody has ruled the pilot out. It actually takes more of a conspiracy to think that the pilot did this than to think that it got warped away by the United States government. I'm going to say that one more time. It's more of a conspiracy to think that the pilot did this than for the plane to have gotten warped away using completely unknown technology by the United States government. That's how stupid these people are. Roasty McGiblets. His account has been suspended, by the way, because it was probably a fucking bot. Look at this. These are the people we're talking about. You guys want to know how much disinformation there is on Reddit? Just look through this old thread. And somebody even asked, from what evidence? There's literally no evidence at all. The officials ruled out the pilot. And this guy's response, you should spend some time reading the MH370 sub. Motive. There's no motive. He didn't have a pissed off cousin. This is all fake. Everything he posts right here is fake. Transponders being turned off. They were tracked by the engines. The engine data was never made publicly available. What is he saying? They were tracked by the manufacturer. The manufacturer never released any data. Shortly after transponders were disabled, the plane climbed to 50,000 feet. Literally not possible for the plane to do that. And recently it was confirmed that actually it did not rise 50,000 feet. It actually descended, consistent with the emergency event. Let's see what else. The thinking of locking the pilot out, again, complete speculation, not based on any evidence. And that's it. There's no other evidence. The simulator data also doesn't match either. So this is so fake, honestly, that the fact that even one person is trying to figure out if it's real or not makes me think it's time to hop off this subreddit. This is how stupid Redditors are, guys. Reddit is full of the dumbest people on the face of the entire planet. Honestly, they should just delete Reddit and we can just make the world a better place. Honestly, it really is. It's the biggest source of disinformation on the entire planet. Do never go to Reddit to get your opinion, ever. Dumbest place ever. Unbelievable, honestly. I find this distasteful. It's one thing to speculate about people seeing black triangles, which that's pretty ironic, but this was a tragedy. Hundreds of people lost their lives. Yeah, don't you think we owe it to them to find out what happened? There's literally no conclusive evidence for what occurred to this plane. How crazy is this? Bullshit video and post. And then somebody finally says, well, there's two videos, two angles filmed at the exact same time. So, yeah, anyway, I think that's good enough on that one. Pretty crazy, right, chat? Yeah. Also, don't go to Wikipedia. I mean, you can go look at sources on Wikipedia, but don't read any editorial on Wikipedia. The editorial on Wikipedia is garbage. Now, where's my warp drive engine thing? I'm gonna have to probably pull it up. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Chat, I have so many links up. Boy. Okay, I'll pull it up over in this one here. I've got 5 more papers I need to read too. I'm trying to do at least 2 scientific papers per night. Just try to catch up with all this stuff because we got a lot more to go. Okay. Here it is. Okay, let me see what we got here. Okay. Here's the thing I want to say next to this as well. Okay, so with respect to wormholes versus warp drive, what's the difference? Honestly, I'm starting to get confused myself. So we've seen the scientific papers that talk about wormholes, scientific papers talk about warp drive, stargates, dark energy, negative energy. There is a slight difference between a wormhole and a warp drive. I think that we can start to now reanalyze what we had posted before and say that a wormhole is going to be just literally connecting 2 points in space and time. Like if I were to take this napkin and do this to it. Warp drive is going to be the idea that you're bending space around yourself. So warp drive might be what the orbs are doing if we really want to get very specific. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this. My understanding is still evolving, let's say. But when we look at the MH370 videos, and I'll pull one up here, the best clip of it. To be very technical, what we see the orbs doing with the trails might be considered warp drive, because warp drive can be subluminal, which means it does not have to go the speed of light. So what you see with these lines in front of the orbs here, that could potentially be warp drive, because it's making space in front of the orbs, and then it's going through that space and pulling forward, which is interesting to think about. And then what we see with the zap, that might actually be the wormhole is being produced. So I've been asking some people behind the scenes on this to try to get a better understanding, and that's pretty much what they told me. And they've told me that warp drive doesn't have to be a superluminal event. So warp drive, and a lot of this has to do with mass reduction, is once you get your mass down to 0, now you can start to like achieve the wave function. And if you achieve the wave function, like the double slit experiment, you can be over here or over here. And so there's even this idea that even if you achieve superluminal speeds without a wormhole, without a connection between 2 points, that you're not going to get ripped to shreds, because once you take your mass down to 0, now there's no friction anymore. So you're not going to get ripped to shreds. Now, what does that do to somebody? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to be flying around in these little orbs. I would not want to be inside of that. I don't think you're going to be coming out in one piece. So this right here, so you could say that the lines we see in front of the orbs, like right here, actually, you can't see my mouse. The one on the south here, there's a dark line in front of it. You could argue that's warp drive. And you could argue then that when they converge here, this is where we're seeing the wormhole. Pretty interesting concepts. But we'll see. I'm going to keep looking into it. I have a lot more scientific papers to read to really have a better idea of it. I have no idea what material the orbs are made of. And just for the record, guys, a lot of people ask me questions that I can't possibly know. Like, I can't know what happened to the passengers. I can't know exactly what material the orbs are made of. But there are questions like that where I could potentially make speculative guesses based on interviews with Salvatore Paez and based on this whole thing about the piezoelectric-induced superconductivity, stuff like that. I'm just not smart enough yet on a lot of that stuff, guys. When I do get smart enough for some of that, I will let you know. But please keep in mind that the science is like the thing I'm the most noob at. I'm a newbie at the science. I'm trying to catch up to the science as fast as possible. And that's because I'm not like formally educated on it. But I'm smart enough to be able to like catch up pretty quickly. Now let's go back to the warp drive. Here it is. Okay, so let me preface. Malcolm Bendel has come out with a patent for a direct matter to energy warp drive. Now, I looked at this video that we're about to watch, and this is why I started to have to ask people about warp drive. because I was like, wait, this isn't a warp drive. This isn't like this is not creating a wormhole. And people were like, oh no, because that's not necessarily what warp drive is. So we might have three things going on. You might have Star Trek impulse drive, which is like the EM drive. And then you might have warp drive, which is like bending space around you, like we see the orbs doing. And then you might also then have a wormhole, which is just like creating like a literal non-linear location in space-time where space breaks, reality breaks down as we perceive it. And that punctures through to the ether that allows for this shortcut to happen. So it actually might be three things going on, not just two. I was conflating wormhole with warp drive. So just goes to show you how, the science, for my understanding of the science, keeps evolving. I have not yet talked to Eric Weinstein or really any scientists. This is probably why they don't take me very seriously, but they will one day. They will. Okay, now let's go to this one. I wish there's a way to default it so it doesn't default to that other one. Can I just remove that other one? Can you remove this? I'll have to look at that later. Okay.
Okay. But what we are showing you with Benjamin Huang's cavitator is exactly the same forces are produced by cavitation.
Oh, here we go.
That would be appreciated. So thank you for your...
Oh, and let me shout out here to Jordan. So this is Jordan. I think Jordan's going to be at the Cosmic Summit. So I'm probably going to meet all these guys in person pretty soon. And he's Alchemical Science. So please follow him. Maybe this way I won't get... and yeah, for the record, I guess hopefully don't copyright strike me. I'm doing this for educational purposes or whatever.
Continued support. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Let's get back to the heart of the matter. Malcolm Bendel's direct energy to matter warp drive for land, air.
Okay. Wait, did I skip? Oh yeah, no, we got to come back to this. Okay, so where are we at right here? We're at 14 minutes. Let's start at the beginning.
Waste. With the thunderstorm generator, we are able to atomically reconstruct the exhaust waste stream, primarily existing of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and hydrocarbons, into oxygen and other more useful elements in this context. This is, of course, groundbreaking, and the thunderstorm generator will continue to be our primary focus this coming year, as it's in the commercial pre-production phase, and there is still a lot more testing and analysis actively going on there to cover. This is the transition technology that we are going to see mass-produced first.
Yeah, and so I was talking to Bob Greener about this as well, and he was throwing a little cold water on it, that it might actually not be... it might be that it's not a cold fusion generator, but that it only produces clean exhaust, which is still pretty damn big, if you ask me.
But it's actually only stage one of Malcolm Bendel's plans for plasmoid technology. Today, we're going to skip right to the end and talk about the final phase of Malcolm's technology instead, the direct matter to energy drive, or Vajra implosive turbine. The drive can be utilized as an anti-gravity propulsion device for use on land, in air, on or underwater, or in space. But it's not simply a turbine, it also has many other uses, just as an engine has far more uses than just transport.
That's pretty amazing.
The Vajra implosive turbine is designed based on the same underwriting principles as the thunderstorm generator: sacred geometry and frequency. So why haven't we talked about the direct matter to energy drive on the channel so far, and why are we now suddenly skipping forward to talk about it now? So a couple of reasons for this. One, Malcolm has just submitted the protection patents for the invention. He had significant and valid concerns about this one being locked up or blocked in some way, and he's much more willing to talk about it now that the patents are submitted. Two, I've had more time to study these subjects myself now, so I feel ready to start discussing them in more detail. I'm still a student.
Okay, so apparently Malcolm Bendel's been holding out on us, and he's got some kind, he's calling it a warp drive. I don't know if it's technically a warp drive or if it's just a propulsion mechanism that uses this vortex plasmoid technology. But either way, he's calling it a warp drive. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and skip ahead because I don't want to be here up all night. Let's go to the part where we talk about it and how it works. I don't really like that they throw in sacred geometry and all this stuff. It makes it sound esoteric. It doesn't matter what the geometry is that does it. Like, doesn't matter. All that matters is that it works. What does it do? and then you show us the design. If the ratios are 3, 6, and 9, or 2, 3, and 4, whatever, great. Just show us how it works. That's it, right? That's just my humble advice to the people that are promoting this stuff.
Power generation and atomic reconstruction and a number of other things called the Vajra Implosive Turbine, or MSART plasmoid engine for short. MSART being molten sea arc atomic reconstruction technology. It also has some other important uses, including being an integral part of the Bendel-Tesla World Power Plant design for unlimited free power, which we
just said the secret word, unlimited free power as well. And yes, once again, even if it is like sacred geometry, you guys got to realize, like, the moment you start dropping the term sacred geometry on people and saying that this is the answer to everything in the universe, you lose like a huge number of people. A huge number of people are literally just going to turn it off and not listen to anything more that you're saying. So I would implore people that want to be taken seriously to not focus on the sacred geometry or the underlying frameworks and consciousness of the universe. Just show how it works. That's it. Then after that gets figured out and agreed upon, then you can start talking about what it means for consciousness and reality and eternity and the universe and stuff like that.
We will talk about a little bit later, just in short. We will watch this short introductory clip from a video that Malcolm and Strike has produced some time ago. You may have already seen this floating around on YouTube or on Strike Foundation's website. It's been up for a while. This vision...
Zero matter, time, light, and matter. The implosive vortex waveguide is inspired by the molten sea Vajra, based on Malcolm Bendel's scientific observations drawn from his Bendel torus. This led to his unified field theory, which is clearly illustrated by his model of the...
And this too, like, guys, this could be absolutely right, and I am not one that's going to turn it off because of this, but like, guys, if you go to your standard CNN brain person and you start showing this graphic to them, they're immediately going to think you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, you don't need to go this far with it. Like, we don't need to know about the guy's unified theory or whatever. Like, all we need to know is like, okay, let's get to the nuts and bolts of what's going on, right?
The elements and his octave dimensional model. The Bendel turbine has direct applications to all current technologies, but especially to the jet turbine and space propulsion industries. The Bendel turbine manipulates the movement of air using a structured waveguide to create an implosive vortex. This vortex, once established by the waveguide, becomes self-structuring, self-organizing, and self-perpetuating around a pole emanating from the 0 point of the model. This effect induces a vacuum, which is the defining operating parameter of the turbine. The airflow, which creates a clockwise imploding spiral vortex, centralizes and compresses the oxygen and fuel, which is then combusted to create a fire tornado, producing internal heat and an external vacuum.
So he's already talking about the fuel, so it really just makes me wonder right away exactly what the nature of this engine is. It seems like the secret here is that we have this 0 point system, which is always big, and then it is able to contain the heat into a specific point so that the engine doesn't get damaged from the heat. And then you can see these counter-rotating vortices that are going on as well, which is pretty awesome. And people ask, well, why does it matter? Why can't we talk about all the sacred geometry and all that stuff? Well, because the answer is this is an information war. People say, well, it doesn't matter if it's true. No, it does. That's the problem. If you don't realize that this is an information war, then you're never going to get anything pushed. What did we just see from these CNN brain people on Reddit? They're all sitting there just saying, no, this is true. This is stupid, blah, blah, blah. You have to realize this isn't about discovering new technology. This is about getting information out there that has been out there that people have just been ignoring. And once you look at it through that lens, you realize what you say and how you say it is extremely important. It's actually the only thing that matters.
A conventional jet turbine directs the heat generated onto the blades, which in turn creates differential expansion. In contrast, the Bendel turbine directs the heat away from the blades, whilst the incoming air cools the system, creating a boundary layer that insulates the blades against the radiant high temperature emitted from the compressed fire tornado vortex core. This is equal to the effects demonstrated by the plasmoid thunderstorm generator. A conventional jet turbine blade has a high-pressure boundary layer that generates friction and therefore heat, whereas the Bendel turbine fire tornado creates a central vacuum, which expands out beyond the turbine blades and has the effect of causing the air in front of the Bendel turbine to be sucked into the central vacuum. The vacuum creates a minimal boundary layer effect, reducing friction and cools the turbine. The differential expansion doesn't matter on our blades because there is no inertial stress. The Bendel turbine, having no axle, turbine blades fixed to a shaft, bearings, or moving parts, does not generate inertia and therefore does not subject the turbine blades to the destructive forces of heat.
So this is what you start with, right? If I am promoting this, this is the clip. This is what I start with. I don't start with any like unified theories or sacred geometry stuff. The first thing I'm showing the normie people is this. What are the advantages of the engine? Well, it's got a central vacuum, minimal boundary layer effect, reduces friction, cools the turbine, no inertial stress, and no conventional moving parts. That's the money. That's what people go, oh, okay, so you just invented a super engine that like has all the positives of the current one, of the current jet engine, and like none of the negatives. Sweet. Okay, great. How many ratios there is and what have you, no one cares, right? Like this is what people want to know.
And metal fatigue. In a conventional jet turbine, when subjected to both heat and pressure, the differential expansion inevitably leads to a deformation of the blades. This is due to the non-homogeneous casting and forming of jet turbine blades, combined with the weight differential between the boron, magnesium, and aluminium alloy components, or composite materials where used. This differential deformation will result in an unavoidable imbalance, manifesting as a vibration of the turbine, especially when amplified at peak load. In contrast, the Bendel turbine blades are stationary and operate as static mixers of fuel and air, structured and directed by a waveguide of intelligent design. This means that the weight of the Bendel turbine is an order of magnitude less than that of a conventional turbine design. Another major feature is that the engine moves into a vacuum instead of pushing into a body of air. When we apply plasma in quadrature to the zero.
So those were some pretty damn good advantages, guys. Like those, that's what you want. That's the money right there. It's like, okay, you know, it doesn't push against the air. So this actually, this might be the secret to the plasma stuff in general in terms of reducing C as well. I want to go back to that.
Blades are stationary and operate as static mixers of fuel and air, structured and directed by a waveguide of intelligent design. This means that the weight of the Bendel turbine is an order of magnitude less than that of a conventional turbine design. Another major feature is that the engine moves into a vacuum instead of pushing into a body of air.
Moving into a vacuum instead of pushing into a body of air. That seems extremely significant. Moves into a vacuum instead of pushing into a body of air. Because pushing into a body of air is what would cause the friction. But moving into a vacuum would be no friction. Is that the secret to reducing C? That is really interesting. That is very important, chat. That might be the most important thing about this so far.
When we apply plasma in quadrature to the 0 point of our fire tornado, it combusts any remaining material and adds effective electron thrust, creating an afterburner effect.
All right, let's break this down.
Okay, I think I'm going to stop there with this particular. You can watch the whole thing. I don't want to show his whole video here. But if you're interested in more about it and the vortex and what have you, check out Alchemical Scientist or Science. He's got 10,000 views on this, so people are definitely taking this seriously. This is Malcolm Bendel right here, actually. Well done. Congratulations from Malcolm Bendel. Pretty sweet. Okay. Ooh. So that's pretty awesome. And that might be legit. I'm not really sure. I do know that very serious people are looking at Malcolm's engine and looking at his stuff. So I urge you guys to take a look. Urge you guys to follow those guys. I'm actually getting pretty tired, and I have to reply to a lot of people tonight. So I probably am not going to post the Reddit thing later tonight. I think we're gonna probably wind it down right there. Just as what's coming up next week, this upcoming week, I do have all these other papers here. Let me go ahead and show you as a little sneak peek what we're going to be looking at. We got more scientific papers. We're probably going to start with these tomorrow. Concepts for extracting energy from the quantum vacuum. Yeah, so concepts for extracting energy from the quantum vacuum. Quantum computing and utilizing organic molecules in automation technology. Okay. The space communication implications of quantum entanglement and non-locality. This is literally, might as well just say, faster than light communication. That's what this should just say right here. Faster than light communication. And then the last one, state of the art and evolution of high energy laser weapons. Okay. The high energy laser weapons could be the secret to unlocking some of these gravitational effects based on the other scientific papers that we were reading. These documents are not in the Discord. You can literally just Google these names that you are seeing on your screen right now, and you can find the links to these documents. They're not hidden somewhere. I just Googled these names, and you can find them on Google right away. So these are not hidden or anything like that. Yeah, take it easy, Alfonso. Appreciate you, brother. So once again, guys, if you want, join the Discord. I'm going to put the invite in the chat again. Give your feedback on which of the signs I should buy. I'm leaning towards the lowercase orbs. Yeah, I think I do like the lowercase orbs better right now. I am leaning towards this one, actually. I think I like this one better. And I'm probably going to end up doing blue. I'm just not sure if I want red. And then let me see. Oh, yeah. And the other thing I'm going to do, too, is we're going to rewatch the Thomas Bearden videos at some point, probably later this, like the end of this week or weekend, next weekend, because the Thomas Bearden videos are probably some of the most important videos ever that are out there explaining scalar physics. And the more science that we learn, the more those videos make sense. I might even invite somebody to watch them with us, like someone like Tom Montauk, or maybe Crypto Alchemist if he wants to watch, so that we can go over them together. Just because it's nice to have somebody else who kind of understands some of it. So that's what's coming up, guys. Let me see what else I've got. So the Dird papers, Thomas Bearden, the Reddit findings that from that old video that we posted that links up with the debunks and all that stuff. That's pretty sus. Going to be posting about that. And then I'm going to take that clip tomorrow of Bob Grenier, and I'm going to snap that. I'm going to put in some graphics with like all how it connects to Freescale semiconductors and the Lockheed Martin coherent matter wave beam patent. In fact, let me write that down real quick. Because honestly, Bob Greenier's given us like some of the absolute best clips that are out there. Bob Grenier is a fucking genius. He really is. What a smart guy, man. I'm so lucky to meet these guys. Anyway, guys, hopefully no nightmares tonight for me. I hope you guys had a good, enjoyed the stream. Thank you, everybody who's watching. We have a lot of people watching, so I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We will be streaming tomorrow night. Probably going to be looking at these papers. Give me your feedback in the Discord on which thing you like the most. Oh, shit. Holy shit. I just invited people to the wrong Discord. Shit. Shit. How do let me take care of this. Okay, guys. Well, have a good night. I'll talk to you later. I'll post the right Discord invite in a second. I just posted the wrong one. Peace, guys.
Planes are meant to fly, planes they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. Planes just be flying, I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. Planes, they're meant to fly, planes, they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. They'll leave behind more, and I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. Planes, they're meant to fly, planes, they ain't supposed to fall from the sky. But if they do, they'll leave behind more than a piece or two. Planes just be flying, I know you think I'm lying. The USA, they be hiding the truth, and I ain't buying. They'll leave behind more than a piece or two. They'll leave behind more than a piece or two.
It's H370 until you do some research. Don't talk to me. I'm going to find the truth while I sip this martini. Your opinion, it means squat to me. It's